Oh boy, we've got a plumbing disaster on our hands. We had a leak under the kitchen sink that slowly dripped underneath the flooring.
Oh, that does not look good.
In the previous videos, in case you missed them, we discovered the problem and assessed the damage. We cut off the pipe. Erroneously, we made a mistake by doing that. My thought was that I could take the shark bite fitting and just pop it on and then screw on the new valve. But the pros told me that plan wouldn't work, that I'd have to replace the entire pipe, possibly tearing out the cabinet. Panic, tears. I was able to remove the pipe and then prep the new pipe, tighten down the new quarter turn dual valve. We put that piece into the wall and secured it tightly. And then it was time to turn on the main. Tell her to slowly turn on the water. After a 2-second mishap, I closed those valves and then installed the inlets, tightened everything up, and in the last video, we actually dried out the cabinetry. That just leaves low water pressure and fixing the saturated floor. Let's see if I can fix these myself without calling in a pro. All right, thanks for joining. Glad you're here. In this video, we're going to be improving water pressure in the kitchen sink on the faucet itself. If you haven't watched the previous videos, I encourage you to do that. We had a plumbing mishap. We had a slow leak happening from underneath the sink, and it developed into something much larger than I thought it would. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. We're taking something sharp and just picking out the individual rubberized nozzles. And the next thing we're gonna do is try to get the aerator piece off itself. Now, hopefully your faucet has an aerator removal tool. This one did not, and I'm gonna show you how I solved that in just a minute. But first, I wanted to bring your attention to the handle removal. If your kitchen faucet like this has a retractable hose, take a crescent wrench and pull it out just a little bit. You'll see a place right here you can see where you unscrew it. There's threads the handle actually removes, and inside that is a screen, at least in this particular model. I recommend that you, of course, I'm no plumber, but I recommend that you try and see if you can remove the handle. Read the instruction manual for your specific model if you have it, or Google your model number. You can also take a picture of it and Google Lens search your model number, or call the manufacturer. Lots of options there. So we're gonna clean out that the top part and the actual, run it underneath just some strong current of water to clean out that debris on the inside. You just want all that buildup out of there. You want to see clean mesh only, and of course make sure there are no parts that can like fall out in this particular model from this angle, from the inside the handle. So it's just water that you empty out. So it's pretty, I think, simple. Now, putting the handle back on, hopefully you're watching this before you start the project. The hose has probably retract inside the actual faucet. So just go down beneath with one hand and push that hose up, and then it magically appears. Grab it with the other hand and you can pull out the hose gently. And if you lose it, if it goes back up, just reach it back down and push that hose piece up from underneath the cabinet. It's pretty simple. And take the handle and we'll screw it back on. There's no tape or anything like that. And then just tighten it, not overly tight. You don't want to crack anything, but I've got my little wrench here, and we'll just make that nice and firm. And you'll test it too and make sure that there's no water coming out of the top part of the handle. Let's go back to the aerator piece now. I am scrubbing it with the toothbrush as the water's on to see if there's any difference in flow. I'm not super happy with the flow still, so I'm gonna take off the aerator piece. Now, I don't have my removal tool, unfortunately, so I had to go and just look around to see. You can see I've got kind of this like protractor piece with two sharp ends, and there's a little bit of space on the end of it here. Gotta be a little careful. You don't wanna damage any of the plastic, but I'm gonna put it right there and just slowly start to turn counterclockwise. Make sure I'm turning it in the right direction, of course. And you're gonna see here in a second, it's gonna slowly start to back out. It takes a little bit of elbow grease, I would say. I tried a lot of different things, like 2 really small screwdrivers to do this, but the protractor piece with the sharpened edges or tips really seemed to get in there and have enough bite while I turned it enough to loosen this up. If you want a DIY approach, this is what I did. But of course, the removal tool itself, even if it's not a time sensitive project, go ahead and just order one, call the manufacturer, ask for the aerator tool, removal tool, and they can, you can buy it for relatively cheap, I think. And we're gonna just untwist it. And the goal of doing this is to access that screen, the aerator itself, because I suspect that there's some buildup happening there on the underside of it. And that once you clear it, because we replaced the pipe, I don't know if you've if you're just joining us for this video or if you've been watching the previous videos, but we put a new pipe on and there's some sediment buildup there, and so that all has to stop somewhere, and it's gonna stop on the back of this screen, and you just wash it off. This is what it looks like. And then make sure everything goes back in the correct way, of course. Photograph it so you know how it all goes back together. So to put it back together, it's simple. You just screw it back on and then use the same tool to grip into those two 180-degree grooves or holes in the black outer perimeter of the plastic, and just twist them clockwise until it gets fairly tight without overdoing it. And if it's not tight enough, you'll have some irregular flow coming out the side. So just get it to be nice and tight and you should be good to go. Let's test it out real quick. And yeah, there's definitely improvement on that too. Next up, we've got a saturated floor. A vinyl flooring underneath it is filled with water from the leak. Am I gonna have to tear this up? Let's find out in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more exciting projects, and visit my website. I've made lots of useful tools for you and I wanna share them with you, so check that out. See you in the next video.
Are you okay? Here. Help me up.
All right, do it again.
You ready?
No, not so hard.
Okay, not so hard. Ready? Come and get me. Come and get me. Look, come over here.